been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.
What's up, guys? Tristan and Tony back with another episode of the One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast.
You're darn right.
And it is January 22nd.
Yes, sir.
And we're pretty much done with our duck season. Tony might get to do a veteran duck hunt before this thing's all said and done. But pretty much we're here to just kind of recap our duck season, introduce a new segment, talk some snow goose, and just kind of current events of what's going on with Zero Duck 30 and One Hell of a Life podcast. And
That's
stuff.
right. That's right, man. What's going on, son?
It's just we've got snow this week in Atlanta, and actually for our Florida folks, record snowfall in the Panhandle, 7 inches.
New Orleans, Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, all of you folks. Goodness gracious. I mean, I saw videos of people running out in the ocean. there's snow all the way to the edge of the ocean.
It's insane because I was thinking before I saw the pictures, I'm like, wait, white sand beaches with white snow. That's gonna be kind of wild.
I know it, man. It's pretty wild weather going on right now. But man, gosh, every year I get a little bit older and I just get a little bit more thankful. And this is one of those seasons where, we won't even go down the rabbit hole of deer season yet, but when I put that in contrast to the duck season, I thankfully God's been nice because the waterfowl season has been very good. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't be more blessed. I mean, big shout out and thanks to Kade Weatherford with Delta Thunder Outfitters and Chris Williamson with Williamson Outfitters. I mean. And all of our good friends, made such a part of this for us. And it's not just the companies out there; it's also the people that we hunted with, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what we got to hunt with. Axl Rose. I mean, Cade's cuz Riley. What's up, Riley?
Yeah, Riley. For y'all that don't know, he I don't know. He's got long blonde hair and he just looks like an '80s singer.
Yeah,
hair band singer.
Yeah. So, but a dedicated listener to us, and we appreciate you listening, Riley. He's up there in the big honker country of Michigan, and they're on a total freeze out. It looks like something out of straight Alaska.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's been a very humbling waterfowl season so far. Very thankful.
Humbling in a good way, yeah.
Yeah, and for us, if you've been following our journey, last year was a little bit trying for us. So we had to make some partners in our lives probably not so happy with us trying to get out and waterfowl hunt when we could during job turnovers and
we pretty much had to hang it up after about December 19th, I think, last year.
Yeah, and priorities. And then going into this year, we still didn't have really the full amount of time that we want to put, so we had to kind of like plan things out in advance. Tristan was telling me back in like August, September, this is what I'm looking at, and and making sure that he's giving everything to his job, and I am too. We just got to be very selective in the time we use, and thank God most of the time that we did, was very good. Outside of just really one slow spot there I had before Christmas, and just the ducks were just stale in Arkansas and everywhere in Northeast Arkansas right before Christmas.
Yeah, before we get too much down the rabbit hole, I just want to brush up on a couple, housekeeping things here. So one, we're the one thing I want to touch on is that if you guys, first of all, we don't mention this enough. If you guys are on social media, you can follow the podcast at One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast on Instagram, for one. Zero Duck 30s on everything. You can find me and Tony on social media as well. So get plugged in with us on there. So definitely want to, build more of a community with you guys. And we love hearing, messages that, hey, man, we enjoyed this podcast. Or, hey, next time you have him on, can you ask this question or whatever? We love that kind of stuff. The next thing is, and we're going to get into this here in a little bit, but
and let me just piggyback on that, Tristan, just real quick. If you message us, we will respond.
Oh yeah,
100%. And if you don't hear from us within 24 hours, message us again because something happened.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's one thing that we're just huge about, is making sure that we respond to everybody. And there's no dumb questions, man. We're here to help.
Yep, 100%. The other thing that would really help us, if you guys love what we do here, awesome. If you hate it, you don't have to listen anymore. But no, but seriously, if you love what we do here, it actually helps us out with the podcast being seen. If you go and give us a rating or review on whatever platform you listen to, just basically the way I understand it is it spats the system, Spotify, Apple, or whatever, they'll suggest it to more people that are interested in the same kind of thing we are. So if you like what we do here, we'd really appreciate that.
And if you don't like what we do, message us. And you know what? We take constructive criticism,
Well, funny, I got a comment on YouTube today of the new video of the snow video, Frozen finale. One guy said, man, it'd be nice if there was less music and more duck calling. And I replied something like, yeah, man, you're right. I felt like there was a little bit too much music, honestly, but I filmed a lot in slow-mo and it would just be awkward dead noise. And I was like, but appreciate your comment and appreciate you watching. And then his name said like USMC. And I was like, and if you serve, we appreciate your service too.
There you go. There you go. Well, we can't satisfy everybody, and we're out there just filming it like it happens, and as we hear things that come back from folks, we care about what you're saying. I mean, we do, good or bad. I'm an ex-military guy. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Of course, if you put your passion into something and you've got some negative outliers, it bothers you, but at the same time, we do like to hear your feedback. But
the last kind of housekeeping thing I had is new segment tonight. We're not going to start it right now. We're going to make y'all have to listen to us jab a little bit more before we do it. But we got a new segment tonight and would love as much participation in this as possible. It's
moving forward, right?
Moving forward, yeah. Basically, we're going to be doing a listener question or listener questions. It's going to be kind of fluid. Also, sometimes, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm going to post on social media every week, basically prompting you guys to reply to our story or, I guess however you can get in touch with us, me or him. If you have a question, reach out because depending on what we're doing that week. So like this week, it's me and him recapping duck season. But if I know, for example, we're going to have this biologist on or something like that, I might put it in the context of like, hey guys, having a duck biologist on this week, what would be a question that you'd like to know? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to do those kind of things, but sometimes
in retrospect. So you listen to a podcast or you've listened to one of our 100 and something episodes, you hear something, you go, man, I wish they talked about this.
Yeah.
Dude, go ahead and tell us, hey, give us the best specifics that you can so that we can gain that feedback. Next time, like, for example, Brad Cohen. We have him on again. I mean, talking about a wealth of knowledge. I mean, holy cow, if you're into that and you're into the scientific bio side of everything, dude, hit us up. We would love to ask your questions.
Yeah, so, in a podcast like tonight, it's just kind of open forum, and we're just getting this thing rolling, so we're going to answer all the questions tonight. But, it's just going to be kind of fluid. Sometimes we might only have time for one question. Sometimes we might have time for 10 questions or whatever. So we just want to get more tapped into you guys and just create more of a community out of this thing. So that's kind of the reason we brought that on. But with that being said, I want to get back to what you were on a roll on with kind of leading up to just talking about our duck season.
I mean, here's I don't want to go down to talking too much about the one hell of a duck season this year, but I will say this, this thing started, it originated with Tristan's idea. And I want to give him credit for the birth of this because, I've been big about this whole one hell of a life thing. And, of course, Tristan too. And we saw a niche in the YouTube arena, so to speak, that we wanted to maximize, number one, the return that our sponsors and our supporters give us. And one of the best things we thought that we could do is not only show you the reality of hunting, we always talk about that, but what's the reality in those different environments?
Yeah.
And for example, Frog Togs that the whole one hell of a duck season is presented by, we wanted to have the ability to show you guys that, hey, whether you're a duck hunter in the South, you're in Florida and you're in oyster beds, or if you're in a rice field, or if you're in timber, or wherever you're at, that the diversibility of these products are really awesome.
Yeah.
And we wanted to show you true life of that.
Well, I think kind of going back to the origin of like Zero Duck 30, like one of our big things that we've always enjoyed about it is the opportunity to shoot new species and get that new mixed bag or hunt in that new area. We've always just loved the diversity of different duck hunting operations, but different environments. But that was kind of always a part of our channel, but it was a lot of like bouncing around. It would just be like, here's a video of this, here's a video of this. So we wanted to do something that was like a cohesive series that kind of built off each other while incorporating all of those same things. And one thing that we did a sometimes better of a job than a good job at it, and sometimes not so much, and that has a lot to do with where we're hunting and just how the hunt goes or whatever. But like you'll see on the Forgotten Coast, we made a big portion of that just about the history of the area. And that's something that's really kind of important to the foundation of this series. And like I said, sometimes it's just, you don't have the time or whatever, and you're not able to do that. But that's a piece
technical issues. I mean,
whatever, you name it. But that's a piece of this that's important to us too, is as we do more of this, over the next few years, we want to add that like historical piece or what's neat about this area, what's different,
Yep.
So that's just all to say. That's
we want to be more
piece.
in depth of bringing you what brings us there.
Yeah.
I mean,
not just, we show up and shot ducks.
Right. Exactly. And, and I'm not knocking anybody that just puts out videos of shooting ducks. That's great. But this is just our journey and what we're trying to do with it. And the one hell of a life, the one hell of a duck season, if you don't relate to what we mean by that message, is this: is if you're a waterfowl hunter, private land or public land, doesn't matter. If you've been doing this long enough, you have had sometimes it's like trying to win a butt kicking contest with one leg. It doesn't matter, private or public. And it's not easy. And a lot of times if you're an outfitter or a guide out there, you know how it is, man. I mean, you're on them, and your clients show up and they're gone. I mean, that's the reality, dude. It's a wild animal. So we just want to continue to bring that to you, bring the culture of the area that we are. We're so inspired. Honestly, give big credits to probably two of our biggest inspirations in this has been Ramsey Russell and Sean Weaver. And the two things that we got from both of those, you guys, was, Ramsey taught us most about culture. All right. And he travels all over the world duck hunting. And that was very intriguing to us to, man, we need to spend more time understanding the culture. And two, Sean Weaver talking to us about just focus on telling the story, and, like you said, Tristan, sometimes there's things outside your control that keep you from like maybe being able to tell that whole story or something, but the Florida Forgotten Coast is a video that's going to be special to us for a long time. In so many ways, I felt like we were giving something to that area outside of just waterfowl hunting too. Right. Just recognizing it. It's a quaint, special place.
Yeah, no, it is a really neat place. It's a unique spot, and it left a mark on me to where I want to go vacation there. I'd like to go back and do some fishing with Chris at some point. Mm-hmm. It's not even just the duck hunting stuff. It's just a really neat, underdeveloped on purpose, the way Chris said, town area.
It is. So we're going to continue to bring this series to you guys. The Frozen finale, that was the fourth video in this series. That was something else. We'll go back to some of these episodes real quick, Tristan. But where I'm going with this is that we still got more to go. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. We have got a video. We've got a gem of a video. And Tristan, I know you don't like me doing this, but I'm going to say that it's really going to be really good. All right. We've got a video the next day after the Frozen finale that is going to come out this year, later on this year. the reason why we're going to kind of drop things off, if you don't understand, is the whole algorithms and everything is getting ready to switch to turkey big time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a short period for snow goose stuff. Mm-hmm. We're going to be going on a snow goose hunt. We're going to be going on a veteran hunt. Thank you, Delta Thunder Outfitters. But point is, we're going to start that series next year with this incredible, dude. It's special. I mean, when you can have 8 people that can go out and shoot in snowy, icy conditions like that. Tristan, the video footage you got, I just can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's some cool stuff in there, and I mean, some of my better waterfowl filming is definitely in there, you know, and I think just from a filming perspective, the day before was actually pretty challenging because you would think like the contrast of like a duck flying with the gray sky and the snow and stuff, you'd be able to like lock onto him. But what I realized is that with no clouds or anything to really kind of give you a marker, it's hard to like pick up the ducks on the camera. So like there's some shots you'll see if you've watched that video where I'm like, get on the duck at the last second as it's falling. And I felt like the next day when it was sunnier, it was actually easier for me to film. And we got some good stuff. It's going to be a good video. But I think, you know, I think the big thing with this series, guys, is we want to, our mission, I'm going to touch on this more because we got a question about this here in a second. But our mission with this stuff, I mean, we got really big goals and dreams with this series in terms of like California, Texas, Canada, North Dakota. Like we want to take this outside of just the Southeast and like the Midwest, you know. I think and your guys' support and any love you guys show towards that definitely will help, you know, because at the end of the day, like views drive this thing and shares and all that stuff. It all helps. So we appreciate you guys and appreciate you listening and all the support and all that good stuff. So you know, with that being said, before Tony just went to take a pee, but I'm going to take a moment to start on the series, that this new segment that I talked to you guys about, and what it's called is listener questions, as I already said. But anyway, I'm pulling them up, so bear with me. So let's see here. So the first question that I'm going to dig into is by Chris, and I believe Chris is out in Oklahoma. We've talked on social media before, but this kind of ties into what I was about to get into with going all over the United States with this. He goes, where do you see the podcast and your social media going in the future? You know, honestly, like, to us,
what a loaded question.
It is a very loaded question. It's not like we're in this to like be the coolest guys out there and have like 1 million views and all that stuff. What we're really trying to do, I think, at this point is just share the reality. Well, that's always been a goal, but
let our authenticity be our success.
Right, exactly. And I think that's really all we're trying out to do. You know, I mean, we've kind of been humbled by social media just because we've had pages deleted for. If you followed us for long enough, you know why. But we've got a TikTok with 20,000 something followers deleted because of posting duck hunting content, and we had our Instagrams up to, and these aren't huge pages, but up to 2,500 followers.
Duck hunters, y'all need to check out Williamson Outfitters down on the Florida Panhandle this season. They offer some of the best coastal duck hunting and inshore fishing east of the Mississippi, targeting species like redheads, bluebills, buffleheads, and canvasbacks, just to name a few. From the cast and blast packages for those who love to fish and hunt, to adrenaline-pumping layout boat hunts that get you up close and personal, Williamson Outfitters has it all. And when the day's done, unwind in comfort at one of the 2 amazing lodges designed to make you feel right at home after a successful day out on the water. Mention the One Hell of a Life podcast when booking and get 10% off your booking. Spots are filling up fast, so call or text Captain Chris today at 850-251-8650 or visit www.floridaducks.com.
So, yeah, no. But anyway, with the social media stuff, you know, I think the goal is, at this point, you know, we've kind of, since we've had our pages like cut in half at this point, the main goal is to grow. Everything's always been to drive the YouTube, honestly, because that's where we have fun. The most fun is doing our YouTube. Everything else,
well, that's where we can show the most to people.
Everything else is supplemental to the YouTube, And that's really kind of the ultimate goal with everything. But and then of course with the podcast, you know, I mean, we've had a lot of fun talking. It's not even just about getting like a big guest on or anything like that. We've had a great times talking with people that don't even have social media, all the way to people that have, I don't even know, 100,000 followers. You know,
yeah.
Work with
people that we would dream to be in the hunting industry. I mean, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's not. I guess to wrap it all up, it's not really about numbers to us. It's just kind of showing. It's really a passion project and just showing what we want to put out, and hopefully you guys like it.
And my answer to your question straight up is this: where do we see it going? We see it going as deep as we can take it. I mean, we will continue to do this. It's a passion project. Foremost for my son and I, and you know, it's so important to me to continue to bring such a positive message and support, especially those of you that are trying to get into the sport or don't have a hard entry into the sport, that kind of thing. It will continue to drive us for years and years and years. So, but if you'd like to see where we need to go, or you'd like to suggest anything towards that, please do.
All right. So the next question is from Riley. Shout out to Riley. You were talking about him and his Minnesota.
What's his exact Instagram? Let's give him a flood.
I don't know. Riley Griffin. He's Cade's cousin up in Minnesota. So his question is, why is Tony so goofy?
Why am I so goofy? I've got a very simple answer to that. My mom has asked me that all my life, and she's the one that had me. Mm-hmm. And she said, Tony, I don't know why you're so goofy, but I love what you do. I love who you are. And I don't know. I mean, I do stuff that's, you know, many times that, you know, Tristan wants to pop me in the face, or, you know, my wife does, or whatever, you know, but I'm just a little bit of a wild card, I guess. And I've always loved living life. And, I just, I have a lot of fun with it. And sometimes it's just about me and myself having fun with it. I mean, I can have fun all by myself. So. And
the cool thing is, you know, he's literally like he's a young person at heart, you know, I mean, and that's, I think, what a lot of people, I think find cool about our relationship is like, that we get out and do all this stuff together. And, you know, as a 52-year-old guy, like, to be out there doing stuff that 20-something-year-olds are doing, you know, I think that's kind of ties into what makes you goofy too, you know?
Right. Well, that, and, you know, if you're a younger person and you didn't have that, you know, there's been scenarios where, you know, through our hunting, I feel like I've had the opportunity to be something else to some younger people, outside of the hunting. You know, whether it be a mentor or on the business side, or, you know, just life problems, you know, growing up, maybe they didn't have a dad, maybe they didn't have a mom, you know, whatever it might be. That's been like some of the greatest things I've gotten from it, to be quite honest, is all those parts and pieces to it. So no, I'm just goofy, man. I mean, my mom says and my mom will also tell you that if it wasn't for me, that she wouldn't believe in Jesus Christ our Lord. And she said that, she goes, you brought me to my knees first, and then God did. And, you know, I was a little bit wild when I was young.
And yeah, no, well, good answer. And if you guys have hunted with us, you know what we're talking about. We have a good time. So
no, you saw in the last video, I was throwing snowballs at people. Who was? I was.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the oldest guy out there throwing snowballs at people, exactly. You know? And we didn't get it in video, but did you get a picture of the snow angel?
Mm-mm.
See?
Well, I may have, actually. I may have filmed it.
Yeah,
I just haven't fully.
Oh, because that's the second day.
Yeah, I haven't like fully come through that stuff.
Yeah.
I think I did film it.
Yeah.
I had the camera there, but okay, the last question's from our good friend Adam Nestor. And he said, is it true that great-grandpappy Weatherford invented the duck call? So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And it was made out of Bodoc, just like the first decoy.
Yep. No.
So, you guys, we got to give you some backstory on this question because you're like, what the hell are these guys talking about? So, Kade, his granddaddy basically guided ducks for 40 years. And on top of that, you know, in his later years, he started making duck calls and things like that. And
It was Delta Thunder duck calls.
Yeah, and he guided for Bill Byers Hunt Club. I mean, this guy has a wealth of waterfowl knowledge. With that being said, Kade naturally is very proud of his grandpa.
He's learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who took him hunting for the first time.
Yeah, and, you know, I think Kade, you know, has a million stories about his grandpa, you know, and it's endearing. Like, we love it, you know.
What a good word. Yeah, it is
we
endearing.
love to, you know, hear those stories and stuff because it teaches us a lot. But one of the things that's funny is if you've hunted with Kade, you know he's a shit talker, and he can talk shit with the best of them. And one day, we're all hunting. This was just a few weeks ago. And basically, he kept talking shit to Adam. And Adam got on this roll about, well, great grandpappy Weatherford once killed the first duck in this field. And basically, we've had this inside joke since then for the last month now of great grandpappy.
Yeah, grandpappy Weatherford.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kade is his granddaddy.
Right. And you probably just had to be there, but it's just funny that I had to bring it up.
Hey, and big shout out to Houdain, because if you didn't hear it, you need to go back and listen to what this man talked about in our podcast. I mean, yeah, he's not a headliner name out there, you guys, but you want to talk about an old timer that's been around, and if you're interested in hearing about what the history of duck hunting is, what's happened in Northeast Arkansas, dude, what a great podcast! Holy cow!
Yeah,
I mean, I was just sitting there. Even the caption pictures that you posted to me, I was like, yeah, I was that intrigued. I mean, it was very intriguing. And just one little hint to that, I will say this: did you ever think about? There's going to be a know-it-all here. But did you ever think about that one of the reasons that ducks have shifted their migration is because the improvement of implements of rice in North?
Yeah, that was super interesting.
Dude, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, you're talking about such a giant difference of rice being... Well, just listen to Mr. Weatherford talk about it.
Didn't he say, just to keep it short, didn't he say that...
Was it like 40% difference or something crazy?
Nah, I want to say it was either 25 or 10% that he said got wasted in the day.
It was more than that.
I don't think... But it couldn't get as... Either way, even if it's 10%.
Yeah.
It couldn't... The implements weren't as effective as getting the rice. So that's a lot more food out in the field for those ducks. And I think the exact thing he said, he's like, these combines today will about starve a duck.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, we all think about it's the weather shifting. Oh, it's
pressure, the refuges, whatever.
The amount of public land hunters, you know, whatever it is. No, it's not, y'all. It really kind of goes down to really basic things. And go listen to that podcast.
Yeah, and on kind of that topic, one thing I wanted to talk about tonight is Delta Waterfowl just put out an article today or yesterday. Waterfowl hunter numbers continue to decline. Canada had 10% fewer waterfowlers, while the United States dropped 8%. We've talked about this before. It's definitely a very loaded topic because two sides of the argument are, oh, sweet, there's less hunters, and there's too many hunters, and I can't go shoot my ducks because there's too much pressure and all this. But the other side of the argument, which I think we tend to be on, is that, okay, we're already a dying breed, for one.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that
the
don't.
baby boomer thing I told you about.
And they mentioned that in that article.
See, I know. Sometimes I feel smart. I've been saying it like without facts.
Yeah.
Just logical thinking to me.
Well, they put it in there.
My dad. You know, I mean, it's got to be. It's just a fact. And
right.
if you're a young person don't understand what baby boomer is I'm 52, right? My parents are in their 70s. The flower children of the 70s, you know, us folks that were born in the 70s and early 80s, that kind of thing. Our parents were part of what they called the baby booming era, meaning that back in those days, a family almost felt required because you had land that you needed children to help support that land. I mean, bottom line, like you were breeding workers in so many ways. But guess what? It became a lifestyle and a culture, and that's just all what it was. But that's went away so much because we've got less farmers and all that thing, you know. So that's what the baby booming era was. So if you figured, just go look at the numbers yourself. I don't know what they are, but just real simple. If back in 1970, the average household had 4 children, they now have 2. That's half. So think about all those folks that, and if you're my age, you understand this, or if you have a grandpa, you understand this, they can't go out and do it anymore, or they're not here with us anymore. So anyway.
We can dive in because I want to talk a little bit about like our 2 cents on this, but I think I'm going to do it justice just for the people that aren't going to take the time, no offense, aren't going to take time to go look at this article.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come through some of this because I think it's really interesting. It says fewer people hunted ducks and geese last year in North America than during any season in the last 60 years. Fewer people hunted ducks and geese in North America in the last 60 years. And
they say what percentage?
How is that true when people are saying, this is just a rhetorical question, when everyone's like, oh, there's too many hunters and there's too much pressure. But
what are they basing that on?
The smallest amount in 60 years. So after a 1-year uptick in 2020, presumably because of COVID and closures, and which makes sense, a lot of people got into hunting because what else are you going to do? According to statistics from the Canadian Wildlife Service, 125,635 residents hunted waterfowl during the 22-23 season.
Wait. In all of Canada?
Yep.
125,000 people?
Yep.
That's, what's the total population? Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would expect to hear that way higher than that. But anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I guess it's one of those things, too. They're so sparse up there, you know, who knows how that relates in relation to our population. But that's the lowest number since Canada began tracking in 1966. 75% decrease from the country's high of 505 resident waterfowl hunters in 1978. Blah, blah, blah. It goes on to talk about other stuff with Canada and the numbers. It says in the United States, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service migratory bird hunter activity and harvest report shows waterfowl hunters numbers slipped to 913,700, an 8% decrease from 2021 and 22 season.
Dude, the number used to be over 1 million. I totally remember that. It just seems like yesterday.
It's the lowest tally since 1962. Together, 1.04 million waterfowl hunters were active in North America during the...
And that's not based on waterfowl stamps, federal duck stamps. You know, that's based on, he said,
harvest
reports, yeah.
Yeah, so basically it goes on to talk about more people are falling out of the bottom than coming in the top. And then to your point, the baby boomer generation, this is interesting. People born between 46 and 64 have represented a high percentage of waterfowl hunting population for the past half century. The oldest boomers are 77, the youngest are 59, median age of 68. Says studies have shown hunters begin to drop out at age 70. So
thank God I got 18 more years to go.
There's more into this article, but from just a two cent standpoint, like I said, you can look at it like, oh, that's awesome, you know, less pressure on our resources, and then I'm gonna get to kill more ducks. But if you're looking at a big picture from your kids being able to hunt and so on and so forth, and us having this resource long term, and there's so much stacked against us. For us to get more hunting opportunities, we need as many people as possible.
So think about this. Think about this from a numbers standpoint. All right, and I'm usually not this analytical, but
yeah, you are.
No, not with numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. And that is my default, or not my default, but that's my demise, I guess. But think about this: if 100,000 duck hunters equal this much revenue through stamps, donations, whatever, all right? And let's just put a $5 number on it, all right? So let's say 1 million hunters, $5 million. And in 1970, can you equate that to the same dollar in 2024? Absolutely not. Because the price of preserving that habitat the price of what you pay an individual to go out and be a biologist on that WMA, all of those things, the prices go up, the salaries go up, everything goes up, right? So that dollar that you gave in 1970 is really $5 or whatever it is in 2024. Point I'm making is, while we're reducing the amount of hunters, the dollar amount is still going up. We got to spend more money to protect this land. We got to spend more money to have these attorneys for Ducks Unlimited. And Delta Waterfowl. We got to spend more money for lobbying. We got to spend more money for just, we got to spend more volunteer time to protecting what we have.
Well, I think that brings up a good point. Just real quick, I'd be interested for feedback to anybody listening to this. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of states I've not hunted in, but I know for a fact Illinois and what it seems like in Florida and Georgia, and maybe I'm assuming Arkansas might be the one that, because of how much revenue they bring in with ducks, they probably have a pretty good DNR as far as like being there on stuff. But for example, you talk about the way the Illinois state parks were when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, just talk about that for a second.
Dude,
like
incredible.
All of the support versus now, there's not even somebody in the ranger office anymore.
No, dude. Like, it was 100%. And we're talking about the golden triangle of deer hunting in Illinois, right? And if you are a deer hunter, you understand this area to be one of the most majestic places to ever hunt in your life. All right. And that's the Pike, Brown, Adams County area. They call it the Golden Triangle. You could go to any state park in the state of Illinois for, my God, most of my hunting life. And you had hot water in the showers. You had pristine taken care of land. You had food plots planted. You had managers, park rangers, and I know it might sound a little weird to some people. Like, we know a lot of in the South as WMAs, and you only get like a chance to hunt a state park through a permit or a quota thing or something. In Illinois, a lot of them are just called state parks, and they have areas that are restricted or open as a wildlife management area. So a WMA is a portion of that. And like, when I was growing up, you could go take your deer up, and there was a ranger station with a scale, and you could weigh your deer and you could put it in this meat locker. And, I've seen that in Georgia, where I see remnants past of, we go to a WMA and we're like, dude, there's a freaking deer cooler here. Mm-hmm. And you go in there and no powers to it. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Those resources became available through public funding. Mm-hmm. It's our tax dollars. It's our license sales. It's all that cumulative total. They just don't pull this money out of the air. All right. It comes from somewhere. And to circle back on Tristan's full point here is, if those numbers are going down, those resources are going to go down.
And my whole point, is that I've seen it in my lifetime. You've definitely seen it. These WMAs not having the resources that they once did, and that's because of money, dude.
Can I get a hands up for anybody listening to this podcast right now? No, this is not against Ducks Unlimited or Delta Waterfowl. You are in a state where they came in and did something, and now you don't see that the state has the resources to support what they did.
100%, yeah.
How many wood duck houses in the South have you guys seen as a project of Delta Waterfowl or a project of Ducks Unlimited where you guys go by and they're falling apart? Don't blame those organizations. They're the ones that got it. It's because of the funding in the state that we need to keep that going, you guys and gals.
Yeah, exactly. And it comes down to money, and money is related to how many hunters are buying licenses, how many hunters are going hunting. And the fact of the matter is the conversation about the pressured ducks and how many ducks are being shot. And this is a big picture to outside of just duck hunting. There's a lot of different hunting that's affected by this kind of population decline. But the fact of the matter is, guys, is that if we have less hunters that are putting money into the stream of things, we're going to have less opportunities over time. And then what has happened is because there's been less opportunities over time, hunters are more concentrated, mixed with the fact that there's people that are really great at managing their private land, mixed with the fact of, food resources changing and wetland habitat being lost. There's a lot of factors that go into why you don't shoot the same ducks in the places that you have in the past. But to just be like, just to chalk it up to, there's more hunting pressure than there's ever been. Factually, there's not. There might be in localized areas where there's more people hunting in a certain area because
of loss of habitat.
Loss of habitat because of loss of hunters.
Yes.
And loss of dollars.
Right.
So you got to realize the big picture of this thing is like, I know we all want to go in there and shoot our 6 ducks or 7 ducks in Idaho or wherever the hell you're at, but there might be a day in my lifetime, I'm 28. There might be a
or
day
your kid's life, yeah, for sure.
That if it keeps trending the way it is, and I'm not trying to put fear in anybody's thing, but just how real it is. Where, let's say 50 years from now, there's half the opportunities there are now. I mean, it's that's why it's important to get more people into hunting.
I've said this before, and I hope this is an eye opener to you. This is the best eye opener I think I can give. As you go wherever you go every day, just your normal day to day, wherever you are, city, outside of city, whatever. I want you to pay attention to what you see being built. Do you think that just got built over the top of a residential neighborhood? Most of the areas you see that are being built of new neighborhoods, it's in the teens that morning, and maybe you're chasing ducks or geese. But now it's September and it's 85 degrees and you're hunting early teal or geese. As a waterfowler, you need dependable weather protection that will not break the bank. Founded in 1996, Frog Togs is not only the leader in breathable wader technology, but a company you can depend on to keep you warm and dry, head to toe, no matter your hunting environment. Stay bone dry by using discount code ZD315 for 15% off not only your first purchase, like most discount codes, but how about every single purchase you make from now until December 31st, 2024? Neighborhoods are taking away habitat. Now, I mean, habitat's habitat, dude. Deer, waterfowl, whatever. It's going away. And if you guys just open your eyes, and if you don't have the soul to admit what you're seeing around you, I would be so bold to say that there's hardly anybody that could listen to this that hasn't seen it. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially we saw like incredible, massive amounts of acres getting ripped through in Florida. Mm-hmm. We're talking about just alone for wood duck habitat. I don't even want to put a number on it. The thousands of acres.
Yeah, I think Florida is probably
your turkey habitat. I mean, it's going away.
Osceola,
yeah, dude. So we got to protect it, man. We got to. So no, good little roll on that, Tristan. That's a very important piece that we got to continue to stay on top about. And I'll just say this to you also, person. If you're the one out there making comments about stuff, and you don't have all your knowledge in place, you look like an idiot. Right. Honestly, if you're commenting on stuff against this kind of thing, well, it's because this, or I see people, there's too many people at the boat ramp and everything else. You're approaching you're approaching it the wrong way.
Yeah. I think shit, what was I going to say about that? Now I freaking lost my train of thought. What you were talking about I don't know.
Let's go to commercial.
No, I can't remember what the hell I was going to say. But, no, I mean, to wrap up your point, or wrap up the point, I think, that's what's got to happen. I remember what I was going to say. Now I got it back. If you're listening to this and you're wondering, okay, well, I agree with you, Tony and Tristan, and not that we're the end all be all of knowing things. We're definitely not. We're
just passionate about it.
Honestly, pretty stupid. But what can I do to make a difference? All it takes to make a difference is take one new person hunting.
Yes.
Because guess what? That's dollars being spent on ammunition, broadheads, bow, gun, waders, whatever,
duck stamp,
your licenses, and all of that goes to Pittman Robertson, and all of that gives a kickback to your state, and that's all important into you being able to, your state having resources to do whatever for whatever kind of hunting, and whatever. Yeah, that's
and outside of that, it's
so take one new person hunting.
It's the experience that person is going to gain for the rest of their life. That's the biggest part about it. You know, yeah, there's this funding thing that's important. We got to keep that alive. But what we also got to keep alive is the passion for what we love. And that passion comes from taking people out there to experience it. You know, all of us, if you haven't, you need to understand, what is buck fever, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Joe Rogan's talked about it, right? I mean,
it's unreal.
It's unreal. It puts you in a physical and mental state that people have described as heart attacks. I'm getting sick, I'm going to throw up. To what other sport can bring you there? What other thing can bring you to that? You know, and we got to let people experience that, man. And some people don't like it. Some people, it's too much pressure for them, I guess, or something. But it's a thrill and a rush that is unmatchable. It's unmatchable. You can tell somebody, all right, if you jump off of this 20-foot bridge into the water, oh boy, you're going to feel a rush. You can bungee cord off 20 feet and not hit the water. You're still going to feel that rush, right? We want you to feel that rush. We want you to feel that passion, feel that camaraderie for the outdoors. You know, I was watching Bone Collector this week, and Michael Waddell talked about how important it is that it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of what we do, and hunting is special, and that's one thing that it gives us the opportunity to do is just create this lifestyle that's more than just the hunting part.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, you know, I think the last thing, you know, kind of we wanted to give an outlook to what we got coming. You know, of course, 2-3 months from now, we got some turkey stuff planned, knock on wood. Hopefully Katie's going to kill a turkey. We'll see. Hopefully we'll kill a turkey. Who knows? We're kind of fly by night. We're like fair weather turkey hunters. We're not like super dedicated.
No, I wouldn't say we're fair weather. I say we're dumb turkey hunters. Mm-hmm. We're just learning.
Well, I'll say for me, I'm not like the most dedicated turkey hunter.
No, I know, but at the same time, we're learning it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. Honestly, when it comes to turkey hunting, so it's a lot of fun for us to learn something new.
Yeah.
And we're enjoying that, and the pressure's all on Katie. I don't even want to kill a turkey before her. I want her to kill one first.
Yeah. But so we got that in the pipeline, you know, and here in the next couple months, but before then, you know, kind of the last hurrah of waterfowl season is potentially a veteran hunt, but really the other thing is snow goose hunting.
Yes.
So we're going to dive into that for a minute, and we're excited to get out and do some snow goose hunting.
Listen, y'all, if you have not been snow goose hunting, you don't have, as long as you have a license in your state, that's all you need. You get a light goose permit. It's $0.
A light goose permit.
That's what they call it. They call it a light goose.
Really?
Yeah, they call it a light goose conservation permit.
Yeah. I thought it was like conservation permit.
Yeah, it's called a light goose conservation permit. Is how they label it.
Weird.
But it doesn't cost you a dime. You get it free through the Arkansas app, and guess what? Call Kade Weatherford at Delta Thunder Outfitters and go out there and experience. Listen, I can't promise you how many birds you're going to shoot, but I will say this, from guiding it for 3 weeks last year, if you go out and you shoot 6-10 geese or something like that, that's a pretty good little shoot, all right? Now, you start getting into like a dozen, 30 or whatever, that's a really fun shoot. Now, we always see everybody's best on social media. The reality of snow goose hunting is not everybody gets the big spin. All right. It doesn't mean your guide sucks. I'm not talking about just Kade. I'm talking about any water or snow goose guide. Listen, you guys, if you're going into the expectation that you're going to get a giant spin like that and a shoot like that, don't go. Honestly, don't go. go in with the expectation I'm giving you, and I promise you, if you're sitting there with 6-10 people and you guys shoot 12, 20 snow geese, you are going to have a damn good time.
Yeah, I've never, to your point, I've really only snow goose hunted like maybe 3 times. And I think one time, I don't think we shot a lot. One time we shot like 21, and one time we shot 38.
And that was a hell of a shoot.
I mean, we had a blast. I mean, because the thing is it's such a group. Like, you get this, let's say 10 of them come in, and it doesn't matter if you got 10 guns. And because the thing is I don't think with snow geese, unless you're trying to mount one, which is, whatever, there's not this like, duck hunting, it seems to feel a little bit more like, oh man, it's so exciting to get that new species, or like, that's my duck, I feel like there's a little bit more of a pull on that. I feel like when you're snow goose hunting, it's like this group effort of destruction.
Yes.
And like,
dude, it is.
There's been several times I've seen, just in my limited experience, where like 5 come in, not one leaves.
Did you remember in Young Guns?
Yeah.
You remember whenever they badged them all?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens with snow geese, dude. Yeah. It really does. Like, we all get badged, and we have this right to go kill, dude. And it's it's fun.
You get a lot more of like, because you got 6 to 10 hunters, I don't know, and everybody's got at least 5-6 shells in their gun. If they have an extended tube, they might have like 12. But
I'm your guy.
The warpath of like, 5-10 geese that come in that just all get rained out. You see that happen once, and you're like, that was fun. So that's all, in my limited experience, that's what I've observed.
Well, if you're just a thrill seeker and you'd like to shoot your shotgun, your semi-automatic 11 or 12 times in a row without letting go, dude, it's like I had a buddy of mine one time go, dude, why did you just unload your gun on that goose all the way to the ground? I go, because I could.
Yeah.
Because I could. No, you guys got to experience the rush. And if you come out with Kade, this is one thing I can almost for certain promise you. You will see snow geese numbers.
You'll see a shit ton.
Like some National Geographic shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is that way. It's like the very first several times I went, I didn't really care if I shot anything, because the spectacle of waterfowl that I was seeing blew my mind. I was like, this isn't even possible to see. And at times, like, you get them on you, they're cackling so loud that literally we could be screaming through these microphones and nobody could hear us right now. Mm-hmm. It's an experience like nothing else. And Kade does a great job of guiding you and just being ate up with it. He really loves it. So look him up, get hold of him. I think it's $250 a gun, but he's filling up fast, you guys. I mean, right now, people start going, oh, I can't duck hunt no more. And they start going, yeah, any spots open to snow goose hunt? And he's like, sorry, bub.
Yeah.
Ain't no spots here. And you got to get on him quick, guys. And for $250 a gun per day, come on. And you can get lodging for 40.
I think it's $40 a night, but if you got a group of 10,
it's free.
It's free. So if you bring a group of 10, you can get your lodging for free. So something to be said for that.
Absolutely. And guess what? If you want to make it happen, like, what are we looking at, Tristan? The Monday, Tuesday, 9th, 10th, something like that?
I don't know.
We might be out there.
It's hard to say. We will be out there at some point, if not 2 different points. But it's hard to say. But yeah, we might run into you out there. I mean, honestly, if you duck or goose hunt out there, we're out there enough where, and thankfully we've been able to connect with several people, listen and watch our stuff over the last couple of years. But there's a good chance we'll run into you out there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but no,
yeah.
So impromptu.
All right. So to kind of give the last 10 or 15 minutes here of talking snow goose, we're going to give
professional call. Give
Kade a call, and then we're going to wrap this thing up after that. So just 1 second, guys.
Do you want coffee that doesn't suck? Get the Duck. Dirty Duck coffee is made specifically for the waterfowl enthusiast. Enjoy flavors like Morning Wood, Dark Dynasty, Cinnamon Teal Snickerdoodle, and First Flight to unlock the flavor that you'll enjoy in the blind for years to come. Our friends at Dirty Duck Coffee Company are now offering all Zero Duck 30 followers a 15% discount when you use code ZeroDuck15 on your next order.
All right, so we got Kade Weatherford connected to tell us a little bit about the fun you're missing out on if you don't go shoot snow geese in the face. What's up, Kade?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, we just I don't know. We got half an inch of snow here, and you would have thought that it was like an apocalypse in Atlanta, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a lot of snow.
Down where you fish at, dude.
Yeah. I mean, all down through there. It's kind of weird. And,
7
something,
inches.
we don't have nothing.
I know, it's weird. We had the cold.
We don't have nothing here.
Yeah. How's not to get too off track, but how's the ice breaking up, Ben? Has it been a pain?
Oh, it's been a pain in the ass, but we'll get through it.
Yeah.
We got one more week of duck hunting here, and that'll be a wrap for that. And yeah.
How amped are you for snow geese? Are you there yet? Or are you still enjoying duck hunting a little bit? Or are you just like full blown ready to shoot some snow geese?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's been a strange year. Like, I was looking forward to going. Like, I wasn't looking forward to duck season when it come in. I was just like dreading the work.
Right.
When it got to going, and I'm like, I don't know. I got to duck hunt a little bit. I had a couple of good duck hunts, and I was like, damn. Now it's kind of gone. There's only a week left, and I mean, I'm usually burnt out. Like every other year, I'm burnt out by Christmas easily. But
right,
I kind of wish it was going to go on for a little bit longer.
I know I kind of feel that way for some reason too.
Is it the trend? Maybe?
I wasn't looking forward to. I'm usually like, God, it needs to be over with. I'm tired of fooling with this, but I don't necessarily feel that way this year.
Yeah.
And it's not like the seasons. I mean, we've had a good duck season.
You guys have had some really great quality hunts.
We've had some great hunts. I've had some shitty ones too. But it's I don't know. It's what makes the chase a lot better, I guess.
Yeah.
If you win every time, I mean, that just doesn't make it as rewarding. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
For sure.
What are you encouraged with what you're seeing snow goose numbers wise, or do you not really put any kind of like do you not really care at this point because it's kind of like it doesn't really matter until you get going?
Well, I don't know. You can look at all these people saying, what you want is you want high juvie numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You want high juvie numbers. And every year you hear the same thing. The juvie numbers are down or the juvie numbers are up or whatever. And I'm one of them people, I don't care. It's got to get here and we got to hunt and I got to see it to believe it.
Right.
You know, I have seen mega flocks of snow geese though this year that I haven't seen. I said the same thing last year, but this year, I mean, I've seen flocks that I used to see like when I was a kid. It'd be flocks 2-3 miles long, and I mean there were flocks like that everywhere when I was a kid. I mean everywhere because nobody hunted them, and I haven't seen that in a long time. I really haven't. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I'm not trying to give any kind of car salesman pitch on it. I'm just saying it looks real good, and usually when you got them bigger flocks like that, they stay around longer, But I don't know. I don't know where the snow geese are. We don't have there's some geese around right now, but there's not a ton of them around. But that makes sense because the ground's froze. They don't like to be on froze ground. But the strange thing about it is to the south of us, there's snow. So I don't know where they are. I don't know. If
They're in the snow.
They're in the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if they're south of us or
Swimming with pelicans.
Or they went to Mexico, or hell, they might have went to the South Pole.
That'd be some shit, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
they just said we're gonna go the other way around back to the Arctic
It's way
Circle.
closer.
We're gonna go all the way down, and then we're just gonna keep going and do a lap and come up on the back.
Well, we
side
went
of,
this far. I figure we might as well keep on running.
just circle the globe.
Yeah.
No, but that is a big thing. When it comes to the juvies, I know, like, Kade, one of the things that you've always made a point about is that, and I think I see this kind of like at least from a social media standpoint, is that, the energy of snow goose tends to start leaking off a lot towards the end of February. But, I was out there until almost the 1st of March, and like I leave, and the week later, you're like, "Oh, dude, we wrecked them. We wrecked them so hard." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Because the only ones that were left were juvies, and I had the only group in Northeast Arkansas, and you guys just wrecked them, so."
It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
It is. It's
Right.
a double-edged sword. The later it gets, the less geese there are, but the ones that are here are typically more juvies.
Right
and
on.
when it's more juvies, when it's all juvies, that's where you have those super big shoots. That's where you have them triple-digit days right there that people want to get on when they hunt snow geese. Everybody thinks, well, I come right when the season opens, when it's like, and it depends. It depends on the year. It could be a 50-50 ratio where it's like 50% juvies, 50% adults. And if you got 50% juvies, that's pretty good, but it ain't usually like that.
Right.
It's usually it usually starts out like, I want to say like on a typical year, it'd be like 30-70, 30% juvies, 70% adults. And then, that adult ratio or that juvie ratio will go up as it gets later in February because the adults start to leave and they start to go back home and then the juvies, they don't know that it's time to go back home.
Right.
So,
well, and
I don't
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think.
Well, I can tell you this from experience. All you got to do is be out there. Number one, you got to go hunt, right? And it could just be a couple juvies that start to spin you. That changes the whole damn day. Changes the whole damn hunt. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun time, man. And if you guys have not experienced that, and like we were saying before we got you on, Kade, one thing that we can guarantee is that if you go out and you hunt out there, you're going to see numbers. Like if you're like us from like South, Georgia, Florida, that kind of thing, you've never seen this spectacle. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Of animals in this amount of migration. For me, the very first time I saw that, like, I didn't need to even shoot anything because I was just like, oh my God, I've never seen this many animals in one place in my life. I mean, it was just a pretty incredible experience. So.
Yeah, it just depends on, it depends.
On Mr. Glenn's posts?
Well, if you've never goose hunted before, and I say that, I haven't hunted, like I can't compare Canada goose hunting to snow goose hunting because I've never really done it, technically.
Right.
I've never truly been on a true Canada goose hunt.
Yeah, like migratory Canada geese. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to say. But if you've never snow goose hunted, there's not a lot like it. I'll tell you that much. It's
a good poor man sport is what I would call it. I mean, just because you don't have to.
not shell. You got to buy a hell of a lot more shells.
That's what I was about to say. You got to spend some money on shells.
Yeah, that's true. But you really
you don't want a cheap gun. You want a good gun to use.
don't buy a bunch of expensive shells.
Yeah, don't buy a bunch of expensive shells. You want good equipment. The license is free. All you got to do is go on there and give them your name and social security number, and it's free. Doesn't cost any money. No plugs, no limits.
Extension tubes.
Extension tubes.
Kade's
Hell, I think you can put anything on there except
yours looks like some shit out of Star
That's what I was
Wars.
about to say. His looks like a damn snow or a freaking what are they called? Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper, yeah,
a snow trooper.
he's got a stormtrooper gun. Like I wouldn't be surprised like when Cade shoots it if it went. Boom.
Yeah, just a laser beam of pellets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's a fun time, y'all, and you definitely got to get out and experience it if you haven't. So.
And
yeah, you need to get out here and book it while you can. I don't have any weekends left. I do have weekdates. I got a lot of weekdates, but I do have some people in the works working on getting me all booked up for that. But we only take a limited amount of people, limited amount of groups in with snow goose. It's not like duck season where we take multiple groups. We either take 2 small groups, small meaning like 5 or less, or 1 big one. You know, if we like to keep it around 10. We get some groups that come in here might be 15, 20, but I like to keep it around 10 a day unless it's 1 big group, and then we'll hunt them as 1 big group.
I will tell you this. If Cade says that we're taking a big group out to hunt snow geese, it's about as good an opportunity. If he gets excited that he thinks he's going to take that many guns and whoop them, you better get excited about it.
Yeah.
And when isn't it like March 15th or something is kind of when you kind of call it for snow geese?
This year I got a lot of stuff going on in March, so it will be March 2nd, and it's already booked. So the only dates I got left is in February. I got a lot of stuff going on right there at the end of March, so
right on.
Like going on a fishing trip with us.
I got my best friend's getting married, and he wants to go on his bachelor trip and a bunch of other shit.
Big shout out to Deal.
Oh man, that'll be a good time right there. I was just saying,
yeah, it's a busy month. It's a busy month, and I can't remember what else, but I'm sure there's something else too.
Well, right on. Well, Kate.
Oh yeah, and we do have the fishing trip. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we got the fishing trip that month too.
Mm-hmm.
Nestor's gonna make me miss the first freaking day of Mississippi turkey season to go trout fishing.
I'm looking forward to that deal. I haven't. I've caught I don't even know, probably 2 or 3 trout in my life, and it's been a long time. So it'll be fun.
I've been telling you to come up here all summer for
yeah, I know.
several years.
Yep.
Well, man, again, Kate, give everybody your phone number and how to get in contact with you.
It's 870-926-7944. Get a hold of me anytime right there. Just text me or call me. If I don't answer, just leave me a voicemail. I'll call you back. I would say email, but I got so much crap on my email, I don't even pay attention to it no more.
Fair enough.
All right, man. Well,
all right, brother.
You hammered the ducks last week or so here.
Yeah, get after them.
I've been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.